live. Hope everybody's doing extremely well. We got a fish. What's up, Daniel? How are we doing? James, what's up? Guys, we have half of our fish here. If some of you have been following along my story, we've already cooked exactly one half of it. But I figured I'd jump on here, just kind of talk about where we're at, maybe cook a little bit of sashimi, or not cook, but slice up some. And yeah, how we doing? What's up, Golden Balance? What's up, Roger? How we all doing? Almost the weekend. What is it, Thursday? Thursday? Yeah. So we're getting close. What's up? So we are live on both YouTube and Instagram today. We're gonna try to make both work. But yeah, hope we're doing well. Guys, here's the striper. It is, how old is it? We started dry aging this on the 9th of November. So it's been about 3 weeks. And this is where we're at. Caught this thing outside of my house. As you can see, we only have half the fish left. Took off, one of the fillets, but this is where we're at. Smells very fresh. Doesn't smell fishy. You guys can see, it's pretty clean. We cleaned it out really well before, but for a 3-week-old fish, it's looking pretty good. So stiff. It is pretty stiff. The fish is stiff right now. So usually a fish is going to be floppy. This fish is not floppy anymore. But here it is. We took off all the scales last time on our live. Zellier is saying to kiss it. I'm not going to kiss it. It's a good idea though. It was 29 inches when it started. It's probably still about 29 inches. But we're going to cut this up, turn it into sashimi. We got some really nice soy sauce. We got all sorts of stuff. Probably going to cook a little bit of it. I already cooked some. It was actually incredible. It really blew me away, but I wanted to come on here and just kind of show you guys the whole process. We already filmed the videos for it, so I think it'd be cool just to walk you through sort of where we're at and what we're doing. He's gonna kiss it. We'll save that for later on. I don't know if I'm gonna kiss it. I'm probably not gonna kiss it. Someone's saying slap it. A lot of people are saying slap it. Take a bite. I will take a bite raw. Sashimi style, but I figured let's just jump right into it. Let's get this fillet off. Any preliminary questions besides people asking me to kiss it / slap it? Now that fish is healthy. Yeah, so this has been, so for people that are just joining, this has been dry aged for 3 weeks, so a pretty long dry age. I've dry aged fish for 2 weeks usually, so we're at the 3-week point. Kind of a long time. For beef, anywhere from 3 weeks to 8 weeks is where you kind of find yourself. But for fish, I've kept it all around 10 to 14 days. So this is a little bit longer than usual. So I'm pretty excited to see how it tastes. But yeah, let's cut into it. So just remembering so I took this side off last week, and what I did is I followed this here, the collar, and then just kind of filleted it. I'm definitely not an expert yet, but I've done this a few times. We did the tuna recently, that was fun. Someone's saying, tell us more about your knives. Okay, we got a couple of cool knives here, guys. We have the Miyabis. You've probably seen me use these. I really like them. These are just, Miyabi, good brand. This is my favorite knife. Soul of Creation, handmade, hand forged. It was 250 layers of steel that got forged down. We got a new knife here. This is the Kuso Cuts Chef Kuso knife. Just showed up today, so we're gonna try it out. I'm excited. Where do you get your meat? I get my meat from a variety of places. Honestly, I go to Stop and Shop and BJ's a lot, but online I like Black Hawk Farms or Alpine Butcher. Okay, let's try to do this. It's very hard, the outside's fairly tough. I didn't quite skin this side correctly. There's no scales, but there is a fairly thick layer of skin. So what we do is we follow the collar. We try to leave as much meat on as possible and follow the collar down, kind of angling down. Did I leave that? Yeah, I went behind that. Okay. So yeah, we're just gonna follow the collar down before we fillet it. It's always interesting doing something I've only done a couple times when I'm live. The stakes get a little bit higher than usual, but it's fun. Am I from Boston? I am from Boston. I'm currently in Connecticut though. So there's a lot of Stop and Shops in the Boston area. But you can go to like Big Y in Connecticut. Whole Foods has great stuff. It's a little bit more expensive. But you'd be surprised by how much good stuff you can find in your local supermarkets when it comes to meat. Just look for what's on sale and what has the most marbling. And yeah, you can find some good stuff. Where in Boston? Do you guys want my exact address? Probably not going to give you that. But a little bit west of Boston, I will say. Stab my camera. There we go. People on YouTube, man, you guys are crazy. The people on Instagram seem a little more tame. Okay, so I just made a cut now to the vertebrae, and I'm just going to follow the meat along here. Try to follow that backbone. So here's the backbone, guys. A couple things to note. There's ribs right here. So I'm gonna have to cut through the ribs on this side. And then besides that, I just try to follow the backbone as close as possible to leave as much meat there as I can. Is that air dried? Yes, this is dry aged in my, let's see if I can move the whole thing, in my dry ager right there. You guys can see it. It's dry aged for 3 weeks. So a pretty long time comparatively. Am I gonna use the bones? I might use the bones for something. Alana, I'm doing well. How you doing? Okay, so let's keep going. Dry aged fish guy, if you're here, just let me know and we can try to get you on here. If you guys don't, I mentioned him a bunch, but he's sort of my mentor when it comes to dry aging fish. So now I'm gonna use a slightly thinner knife to kind of work it down. Yeah, see any questions I can answer. So you can just let it sit out. Yeah, so the thing about dry aging is you're not curing it, so there's no salt, there's no seasoning, it's literally just the meat exposed to oxygen, but it's in a very specific environment. So the humidity level is exact, and we keep it around about 75% humidity, 65 to 85, and then the temperature is also very exact. So for fish, we keep it a little bit cooler at like 1 degree Celsius or like 0.9. And for beef, you can get a little bit hotter, or like probably about 2 degrees Celsius, like 36 degrees. How often do you dry age fish? Whenever I can really get my hand. So the thing about dry aging fish is it needs to be extremely fresh. I caught this outside of my house, so obviously I know how fresh it is. But you wouldn't really dry age something you just find in a store. You could. But I like to just wait until I have something that I know was literally caught that day. So I caught this exactly 21 days ago. Okay, so I'm just following my knife down here. What's up, Nico? Do you have a specific type of fridge? I do. So this is a dry aging fridge from the company Dry Ager. But you can dry age in your home fridge. I learned everything about dry aging in my college mini fridge. So it's possible. It's not exact, but you can do it. If you want to get into dry aging, the Umai dry bags are a good product. But yeah, feel free to send me a DM if you're looking for some recommendations. But yeah, so we're following the meat. It looks pretty nice under there, honestly. You know, it is 3 weeks old, so it's a little more firm because some of the moisture's come out. But yeah, let's see. Make it raw. That's what we're doing actually. So I've cooked some of this. I pan-seared some of it and did a whole like truffle thing, and it actually came out really good. Okay, so now we're at the part where there's the ribs, and they're really brittle. Like they're pretty hard to get through right now. I'm gonna use the Kuso Cuts knife. It's pretty thick. Let's see if I can get through those rib bones. That's the only like bone that I need to cut through. It's kind of hard. What's the best meat to dry age with? I would say beef. That's definitely the classic. We've done duck with a lot of success. We tried turkey. That was okay. So you can do all sorts of stuff, but I'd say beef is like the one I would recommend the most. So can you let me know if there's any like major questions? I can answer. Why no filled it out first? I'm not sure what that is. Wire cutters would be good for this. Yeah, these bones, like, I'm trying to think the best angle of attack. I'm probably not doing it exactly right, but I just want to make sure I'm not wasting too much fish, so I'm kind of taking my time with the bone. Oh, here we go. That went through okay. Can you guys see sort of what's happening? So I'm taking the fish off this side and then getting through the bone. So someone said why dry age, and specifically for fish, that's something people probably don't quite know. Dry aging slowly removes moisture, and through that process it makes the protein more tender, whether it's beef, pork, whatever it may be, including fish. So it becomes more tender. It also improves the flavor, or at least concentrates the flavor. As the humidity comes out, the flavor gets more concentrated. So, yeah. Okay, so I think we're pretty good actually. I got that. Now I'm just basically filleting it like you would a normal fish. Dry aged venison, that could be cool. A lot of people have been asking me about venison. If you're a hunter or you have access to good venison, let me know. Because I'd love to do some recipes with it. I just don't really have much access to it.
How much of this fish is actually edible meat?
How much of the fish is edible meat? So once I take this off, I'll show you, but most of it really. It's like any other fish, so with beef, you have to cut off the exterior and you have a lot of loss, but with fish, the skin protects it, so you really don't lose anything, which is another benefit to dry aging fish. Man, this is tough. Very tough. Okay. A lot of people are saying to slap it. Oh man, I'm sweating. This is not easy work, but we're almost done. What is this?
Someone said don't forget the cheeks.
Oh, good point. The cheeks. So there's a chance the cheeks are just completely like dehydrated, but that's a great point. We should definitely dissect that next. The cheeks are. I at least grew up being told that the cheeks were the best part. My dad would always say, "Gotta go for the cheeks." So, are they actually the best part? They are tender. Are they that much better than everything else? I think so, but all right, guys, there we go. We did it. Yeah, so this is a fish that no longer has the meat on it. Put that there. And here is the fillet, which actually looks really nice. Guys, it's really clean, white. This is striper, striped bass. It's native to my area, the northeast of the US, but you can find it in a lot of places. And yeah, I mean, the texture is still completely normal fish, right? Even though it's been dry aged for a while. So it's really nice. A lot of people still asking to kiss the fish. Especially on YouTube. You guys are crazy. Someone's saying, is it dry aged? Yes, so it's been dry aged for, man, a lot of people saying to slap it. What's the deal with slapping the fish? It has been dry aged. It was dry aged for 3 weeks. And yeah, so we're gonna try some sashimi style. We're gonna try cooking some. Dry aged fish is kind of gross. Have you tried it? It sounds different. It is different, but it actually tastes really good. People say that it tastes less fishy than fresh fish because a lot of the impurities come out as the moisture escapes. So, yeah. What you say? Okay. All right, so I'm gonna remove the belly area. So we have the top loin here, right? Some of the belly. I'm gonna kind of remove that because there's some bones.
Someone said, isn't the fish tender enough? Why dry age it?
Yeah, so most fish is quite tender, but especially if you have stuff sashimi style, it's not. It could be more tender. In general, fish is tender though, so it's not like it makes a massive, massive difference from a tenderization standpoint. But I will say the tuna that we did got significantly more tender in a good way. Like sometimes you get those pieces of tuna that have sort of like that white fibrous stuff going on the inside. This still had that. It didn't get rid of the white stuff, but it made the white stuff just completely melt in your mouth, which is usually not characteristic of that, like those fibers. And then for this, what I found the main difference was, it's not that it was more tender, it was more so when we cooked it, it was actually more firm. So not that it needed to be more tender, and not that it got more tender, it was a little bit more firm, right? It was like, more like, what's the word for it?
Gummy?
Not gummy. Gummy's not the right word for it. It just had a better bite to it. It didn't quite fall apart like most fish does. It had a really nice and juicy like bite to it. I don't know. We'll cook some in a little bit and I'll show you what I'm talking about. But this is the belly. This is where we got the toro from that tuna. So I like roasting this whole. That's what I did with the other side, and it was really good. You can see it's quite fatty. That's one of my favorite parts there. Please, dear God, slap the fish. Man. I mean, what part of the fish do you want me to slap? Like, it's tender. We don't want to break the fish. That's the number one priority. Scale side? We'll see. We're not slapping it yet, though. Okay. Please, dear God, slap the fish.
It looks dry. Is it dry?
Someone's saying, is it dry? The outside is really dry, and actually, ooh, I kind of slapped it. The outside here is extremely dry, which makes for really good seared skin. It actually like bubbles up when, slap the scales. It actually bubbles up when you cook it. If you look at my Instagram story right now, you can kind of see it, but we'll cook it. But this side gets really nice, and then, yeah, I mean, it's just like basically normal fish, you know? It's just fish. How can I send a tip? Oh, I don't know. On YouTube, is that a thing to do? I think it is.
Yeah.
Let's try to activate that. Whatever. Does dry aging fish intensify the flavor? Yeah, it does. So moisture comes out, and the flavor within gets a little bit more concentrated. It does a few things to it. So it changes the flavor slightly, and it just tightens up the texture. It's really hard to explain. That's what I realized. But it just makes it overall better. And the thing is, most people haven't tried dry-aged fish, and they hear dry-aged fish, and they're like, oh, why would you ever eat 3-week-old fish when you can just eat fresh fish? And so there's a little bit of a misconception that dry-aged fish is like smelly, or it kind of degrades over time. But the reality is it actually improves with time, to a certain point. Like, you don't want it to get too old. Jacob wants me to make out with the fish. That's just a very strange request. Okay, so we're gonna cut some slices, some relatively small portions, probably like that, and that. Yeah, we'll cook this little guy. I'm really excited to cook this thing for you guys and just show you. So when you cook it, the skin like seizes up extremely quickly. It's kind of crazy. So we'll cook this one in a little bit. We'll do one sashimi style. And then I'm cooking for with some friends tomorrow. So I'm gonna save some for that. Try to save some nice pieces. The fish will love you in heaven. I hope so. So yeah, cutting through it, the fish is already like, kind of cuts through like butter, but it's extremely soft. Small little fillet, but it's really nice. Greetings from Germany, Rohan. What's up, man? And yeah, so with dry-aged beef, there's that kind of funky smell to it. None of that whatsoever with fish. Like, there is no element of funkiness. It's just literally smells like fresh fish. So there's no salt because it's not a cure, exactly. So this is different than salami or like ham, pastrami, anything like that. With those, you'll add pink salt, you'll add salt, and it'll completely change like the what's going on chemically with it. But this is just completely fresh, exposed to air over an extended period of time. So, a few more pieces. Okay, so I'll save this one, and this one for tomorrow. Yeah, these are nice pieces. So these I'm saving for dinner tomorrow. Does it still have a fishy smell to it? It doesn't at all. It actually has less of a fishy smell than if you, what's up, Bama? It has less of a fishy smell than if you were to literally catch it like day of. Here's the fish. It's really nice. There's still that bloodline there, but it's a really nice, is that a striper? This is a striper. Take a bite of the skin. Once we cook it, I'm down. Go on, Max. Just a little. God. A lot of strange requests today. I don't know why. Give him a little pat. I'll give him a little pat. I feel like that's okay. Just a little. That's a pat. We can't call that a slap, but that's just a little pat. All right. You guys happy? Slap the fish. Okay. Why don't we check out to see if there's anything in the cheek? I have a feeling that since it's been losing moisture over such a long period of time, I have a feeling the cheek is like exempt of meat at this point, but it's worth checking out. What do you guys think? Like, it's kind of hard at this point. Whenever make a steak, sauce leaves the meat even. We've got a 14-year-old trying to cook a steak. Whenever I make a steak, all the juice leaves the meat even after I rest it. Any tips or tricks? All the juice leaves it. As long as you rest it for like 10 minutes, you really shouldn't lose that much of the juices. But it's a juicy steak if it seems like it's that juicy. But maybe start with a slightly higher quality piece of meat, because it sounds like the end result is a little too dry as opposed to all the juices leaving. So maybe try to save up for like a strip loin or a ribeye. Those could be good options. They're usually pretty juicy. Okay. Yeah, right? The audience today is just wild. Wrap in foil. Now kiss. Thank you, one of a kind. Okay, so we're trying to get this cheek. See what's going on with the cheek. The eyes are like really sunken, kind of weird at this point. But yeah, let's see what we can do here. Huh? Yeah, so we're just kind of opening up this area. That's safe. Thanks, guys. So put it on my head. What is going on with the people on YouTube today? They're just asking me to do things to this fish that I don't wish to do. Okay. So I'm basically peeling off the cheek skin, I guess. I don't know, this is weird.
Do you make fish stock with the leftover fish?
How do I or will I?
Could you?
You probably could. Someone's saying, could you make fish stock with the leftovers? I've never done it with a dry-aged fish, so I don't know, but I can't imagine why you wouldn't be able to. Okay, so here's the cheek. There actually is some cheek. There is some cheek meat left. It's definitely a bit gummy, but yeah, Humpty Dumpty. Why do you want me to kiss the fish so much? But yeah, we have a fish cheek. I don't know. I guess we'll try to cook it when we cook the other thing, the piece of the fillet. But yeah, I think we're pretty much done with this carcass though. I might roast the head, do like a roasted fish head video. But yeah, there's that. Let's make some sashimi. Let's try slicing some up. So this we're saving, that we're gonna cook. We're gonna turn this piece here into sashimi. I think it's a nice little piece. Has anybody tried striper sashimi? What cut of venison do you want? Nick, shoot me a DM. I don't know, I'm kinda down for anything. We can make some jerky. Venison jerky is always good. Or I saw Grork smoke a whole leg. That looked really, really good. Just posted that today, I think. Cheek extraction was successful. I say that was successful. Not a huge cheek, but it is a cheek. What's my favorite cut of meat? I get that question all the time. I would say outside skirt steak is probably my favorite, but it depends. Really, it's whatever, like when it comes to what's my favorite cut, or like what would I buy if I go to the store, it really depends on what the store has that day and what the best looking steak that day is. So I rarely go to the store and say, oh, I'm gonna get a ribeye today, or I need to buy a fillet. It's more so, I have an idea of what price range I want, and like what sort of eating experience I want for like either guests or myself, and then depending on like the marbling, what's on sale, stuff like that, that's how I make the decision. Kept trying to get him to slap it. Okay, let's make some sashimi. So the question is, how do you slice this? I imagine you want to go against the grain when it comes to Max the fish guy. Ooh, I kind of like that, Max the fish guy. It doesn't quite have the same ring to it, but okay. We're gonna start by taking off the. Where do you get your black shirts? I just got a new shipment of black shirts the other day, actually. So some free marketing for fresh, clean tees. They're pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. All right, we're gonna remove the skin. Oh, we can make like a fish chip with this skin, I just realized, because the skin is really great. So I'm just removing the flesh from the skin. That's what's happening. And it's going okay. All right. Now we have our fish. This is the skin. Look at the skin. It's almost like a card. It's like harder than paper, but it's really a crazy texture. Luis, what are you saying, man? What do you do? Can you cook some lamb for us? Yeah, that's a great idea. I love cooking lamb. Would you want to see like a roast or lamb chops? Because I've done a pretty good amount of like rack of lamb recipes, but now that the holidays are coming up, that's a good reminder. What kind of fish? This is a striper. For people that are just joining, striped bass, dry aged for 3 weeks. Right now we're slicing up some sashimi, and then we're gonna cook some after. Actually, I'm gonna put this. This is what we're saving for tomorrow. This, and this, and this. We're cooking that, and we're making that into sashimi. Okay. 1 second.
Someone said, can you make a steak cake Christmas edition?
Can I make a steak case Christmas edition? I like that idea. It's a great idea. Kiss the head in all caps. Kiss the head. We'll see. The head or the mouth? It's kind of a weird move to kiss the head.
Kiss it on the forehead.
Directly on the forehead? I would rather kiss on the forehead than the mouth, to be completely honest. All right. We're gonna try cutting some sashimi. I don't know the exact way to do it, but you can see there's like kind of a grain this way. So if I were to cut this way, it feels like I'm cutting against the grain. But I know that there's a better way to do it. I actually think I go diagonal. Does dry aged fish guy happen to be on the on this thing right now? Kiss the fish. Lick the fish. All right. We're just gonna try slicing it against the grain into like rather thin pieces. But I feel like there's a way to do this that I'm not thinking of. Yeah. Do you mind? I actually think it's this way. I think I have it, Sophia. So guys, here's the grain. Actually, you can see it better here. I believe it's this way at an angle, based on what I saw before. So I'm gonna try that. What am I about to do to that fish? We're gonna eat it. That's something we're definitely gonna do. How long was it dry aged? It was 3 weeks. Shout out to Sophia, someone said. Should we get a little sister reveal real quick? All right, quick little sister reveal. Boom.
Hello.
Guys, big shout out to Sophia always. She is the mastermind. Okay. Ferrari, I'm sorry for ignoring you. I didn't see that. Let the fish kiss me. That's an interesting one. Okay, we're gonna try making some slices of sashimi here. Is this my sharpest knife though right now? Try using this guy. Okay. Can you guys see? Is it this way? Yeah, okay. I think this is what I saw him do. But that feels like I'm going with the grain now. Man, the grain on the fish is so intricate. Like, I actually think it's this way. I could be wrong. I might be botching this right now, but I feel like it's okay. It is really tender to cut through. So we're getting some little slices. What are we thinking? Across the grain, steep angle. There's so many different grains running through this fish, but we are going against the grain here, and it's thin, and we're going at an angle. So I believe it might not be the perfect way, but it's definitely, I feel like it'll be fine. But that's a pretty nice little slice there. The bloodline's still there, so it's not the most beautiful looking piece, but I think it's okay. Yeah, I mean that looks like a nice little piece of sashimi. I think it'll be good. Back off, Junior. Please, the knife brands. Okay, so this is Miyabi, which I really like. These guys. This is a custom hand-forged Soul of Creation. You can find him on Instagram. He's like a 20-year-old forger. And then this is the Kuso Cuts new knife, Chef Kuso.
What's the dark part on the fish?
So someone's asking what the dark part of the fish is. This is the bloodline. It runs laterally right in the middle of all fish, so you'll find it in most fish that you eat. If you're eating salmon, you'll see like there's that dark part at the bottom sometimes by the skin. So it's definitely edible. It's a little more bitter, or it's not the best tasting part, but still okay. Okay, so we're just slicing some pieces of sashimi here. What are you gonna say to the fish, boy? What? But yeah, guys, dry aged sashimi. What does the fish smell like? It doesn't smell like anything, which is kind of surprising. You would think 3-week-old fish smells weird, but it's not the case. It's very fresh. The fish is sad. It is. It's very sad. Okay. Let's plate the sashimi and try it. I have tried dry aged sashimi. We did one sea bass back in the day. But not the striper. It's my first time trying dry aged striper sashimi. So, let's see. What did you dry age the fish in? Please read your comment. What's your comment? Mr. Vincent, I didn't see it. So I dry aged it in there for people that are asking. You don't have a sashimi knife? I don't have a sashimi knife, but I'm kind of at a point where I feel like I do. I mean, I feel like I need one. We've done enough sashimi related stuff where it's probably time to get one. Can I see? Thanks all the, where are you from? I'm from Connecticut. I'm from Boston. Try the eyeball again. I don't know, man. The eyeball on this one, the carcass, it's really sunk in. It kind of looks strange. Okay, so let's make some sashimi. There's not much cooking involved. It's literally just plating it. Try to make it look relatively nice. There's not many bones. That's something I realized. I was kind of expecting more bones, but not too many bones, which is nice. Yeah. Let's see. What's up, Zom? What am I making? So we're making some dry aged sashimi, striper sashimi. We just so we dry aged the fish for 12 days. Well, first we caught the fish outside of my house. So it was very fresh when we caught it, obviously. Caught it fresh, dry aged it for 21 days. Okay. Got this new soy sauce that my cousin sent me. Shout out to Johnny if you're on here. No one cares about your comments. I care about your comments. I just can't see them. Thank you, Mr. Vincent. Can I show you guys the meat fridge? The meat fridge, the dry ager. I'll give you guys a little tour once we're done making this sashimi situation. But there it is. You guys can see it. Not too much stuff in it. Kind of oh shoot. All right. We kind of cleared it out. Did a bunch of experiments recently. Okay, soy sauce. What else do we need? We got some ginger. Do we have chopsticks? Let's see. We have wasabi. Guys, I'm sad to say we're using the fake wasabi. But hey, kind of got to do what you got to do. If you do, you need chopsticks.
I was just looking for them. Maybe in the drawer. Now we have the metal ones.
Yeah, the metal. Oh, here we go. So we're searching for some chopsticks currently. Can you dry age without a special fridge? You can. Check out Umai dry bags. Those work. You can also just dry age in your fridge. I've done that quite a bit. So yeah, it's possible. Send me a DM if you have any questions specifically on it. I'll do my best to point you in the right direction. But I've done a lot of dry aging, just not in like the most professional setting. It still works. Can you dry age fox? Anything's possible. Let's see. What's my first name? Max. Can anybody guess my actual first name though? Oh, we got chopsticks. My sister to the rescue. Can I dry age you? I'm down. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest. This plate of sashimi it's missing something. So we were trying to think of how to garnish this plate. We got a cucumber. We got some radishes. We got a little. It looks like a slap chop, but it's not. It's like let's just try it. It's like one of those things that makes like noodles. How does it work, Sophia? All right. I mean, very high probability this just doesn't work. Like this.
Yep.
So.
It's working.
Is it? Oh yeah. Oh, look at that. Guys. This is great. I mean, this is working way, like, significantly better than expected. Is this the right garnish for the occasion? Probably not. It actually just doesn't look... All right, let's try the radish. Now that we know it works. Is that my sister or my wife? That's my sister. Okay, we're gonna try a radish now. You know how they kind of garnish it with the radish. It's really thin. It's sort of working. It's sharp. Can you eat the tail? That's a good idea. Let me try that. It looks like green onion. I mean, red onion. I don't know. I think that's pretty good. It makes the dish look 10 times better, actually. Yeah, that's legit. I like it. All right. The last thing we need is the ginger. Where's the ginger? All right. We're adding the ginger, and then we're just about good. At the end, can you let people join the live? Yeah, I'm happy to. If you guys have any get your questions ready, or just like put them out now. I'll try to. It's sort of hard to answer the questions while also making the sashimi, but when we're done, I'm happy to have some people on. We can talk a little bit. Okay. So, I don't know, it looks okay. Guys, that is a plate of sashimi. Well, you can't really see. I'll start with Instagram so you guys can see. Then we'll show YouTube. There it is. Is it the most beautiful looking plate of sashimi? Not really. But I don't know. I think it's pretty nice. This definitely adds to it. I don't think it takes away. So the little slap shop thing did work, which I'm happy about. All right, YouTube. This is what we got for a plate of sashimi. What do we think? I don't know. I think it's okay for the first try with what we have. But the real question is, how does it taste? That is the question. I think we try it. Oh, do you think torching it would make it taste better? That's a good idea. Torching, like, yeah, maybe we'll try that with a couple. But I think for now, I'm just gonna try a piece with soy sauce. What if it tastes bad, Sophia? What do I tell other people?
It smells good.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be good. Problem is, it's hard to fake it. All right. Okay, guys, we're going with piece number 1. First time trying dry aged striper. Very sustainably caught outside of our house. So, you know, let's see. Soy sauce. Wow. That's amazing. It's a very just clean, like, it's not super powerfully flavorful. And you don't expect that from raw fish. But it's very clean. Tastes great. Very tender too. That's something else that's one of the first things I noticed as well. You can see it's almost like falling apart. You see those big grains? Want to try some, Sophia? It's really good. The soy sauce is great too. Cut it in half. All right, taste test from Sophia. She's the real barometer. It's not working. I should just give me the whole one. Okay.
The soy sauce or
Yeah, what kind of sashimi is that? So this is, I go with the soy sauce, yeah. This is a striper. So you'll often see like salmon, tuna, eel, a lot of basic fish when you go to a sushi restaurant. You will find striper though, quite frequently. You kind of have to ask for it, or sometimes they just have it on like the sashimi platters. What do you think?
It's nice.
It's nice, right?
Yeah.
It's really soft.
It's not fishy.
Not fishy.
It's just very like tender.
It just tastes like sashimi, which honestly, I think that that's a win, considering that we're not like sushi chefs. It just tastes like your typical but good like white fish sashimi.
Yeah.
Which is as much as I can ask for, to be honest. Yeah, dry age for 21 days. So it is at like the top end of how much you would dry age a fish like this, because it's not a massive tuna. Leeway dry age fish guy says you can dry age the big tunas for like a pretty long period of time, but something like this, 21 days is, or I think he said 28 days even. Where do you get your Wagyu? I usually get it from either Alpine Butcher or Pure Wagyu. There's a few places though. Too late. It's not too late to slap it. I gave it a little love tap. We're past that, I thought. Yeah, it's really nice. I love ginger, by the way. I know they usually just give the ginger for like, kind of for looks on the side, but I'm a huge fan. So this is raw. This is raw fish, guys. Someone's asking if it's raw. Okay. How long has it been, Sophia? It's been over an hour.
Just about an
All right. Let's cook this other fillet real quick. Let's try to do it in like 20 minutes, so it's not that long of a live. But I would say that sashimi was a big success. I want to do like a sushi roll. Oh, okay. But yeah, I don't know. That was awesome. I was very happy with that. Now we're gonna cook this piece of fish right here. What? No, we're gonna keep this, especially this. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Ginger is actually used as a palate cleanser. I know it's meant to be a palate cleanser, but I love putting the ginger on the fish. I know it's not like the traditional way to do it, or like on the sushi. I don't know. If it's really high quality sushi, I won't do that, but I just really like pickled things, so pickled ginger, pickles. Okay. Dry age a gator tail. Guga actually did that. Oh my god, they were roommates. Oreo dry aged steak, that'd be kind of crazy. Okay, we are going to cook some fish. Where's the... Okay, got our cast iron. Wasn't expecting me to read your comment. Well, I did. What would you use to describe dry aged meat? So people say that dry aged beef sort of tastes nutty. The longer you go, people say it tastes like blue cheese even, that sort of flavor. It's really unique and distinct, so I would recommend trying it out. I think a lot of people, when they try dry aged beef and they try really like long or extended dry ages, so they try like the 60-day or the 80-day, and for a lot of people it's a bit intense. So I'd recommend starting around like 30 to 45 days, figuring out if you like it, and kind of going from there. Slapped it. He slapped it good. Broiled fish is much better. I like broiling fish. I also like... Oh, we got some people with badges, I think. I'm still figuring out the badges situation. But yeah. What was I saying? Where's Stacey? I was saying something before that. I lost my train of thought. Sorry. Okay, so let's cook this up. I usually like to salt my fish a little bit prior to cooking. We're a little bit late on that, but I'll just salt it now. Got a little bit of that Osmo flaky salt. So you could put oil on it. I'm just gonna salt it. Yeah. I'm only salting one side. I'm not gonna salt the skin side because I guess I could, but it's so dry that it kind of falls off, and I find that you don't really need it. And we'll salt it after. But yeah, I think that's a pretty good amount, especially since we're not salting that side. I went a little heavier than we normally would. Humpty Dumpty. Some tips on cooking A5. So yeah, that's the big thing. People get scared of cooking it because it's so expensive, which makes sense. Anytime I'm cooking a really high graded steak like that, I cut it into strips. So let's say it's like a half-pound steak, I'll cut it into like 4 pieces, get a cast iron, and sort of make it an eating experience where like you cook one, you start by just using salt, right? Salt on the first strip, cook it really quick, slice it up, and everybody tastes it, right? The biggest reason is that you don't want to overcook the entire thing. So by cutting it up, you kind of limit the chances that you're going to overcook everything. And you can really savor it that way. Like if you just cook a massive Wagyu A5 ribeye, it'll get cold, it's super rich, it's hard to enjoy it like that much at once. So that's my biggest recommendation. And just keeping it simple, like really hot cast iron. Really all you need is salt. But you can serve it with soy sauce, wasabi, fried garlic is a good one. And yeah, those are my tips. Can I do a slow-mo? Say. Dry aging elk or bear. Ooh, that'd be cool. Dry aging bear would be interesting. Yeah, I'm down to try that. I'm sure Guga's dry it. So I saw that Guga dry aged a lobster today. I can only imagine how that turned out. Okay, so it's pretty hot. When I'm cooking a steak, I want it really, really hot. When I'm cooking fish like this, I want it hot, but I don't want it like blazing hot. So it's probably a little bit too hot right now, to be honest. But here's the biggest thing, guys. Especially when you're cooking a piece of fish, or fish in general, but especially dry-aged fish, you're gonna notice the second I put this on the pan, the skin is gonna just immediately seize up. And if I just plop it down, the skin's gonna like curl up into nothingness. So what you really need to do is put it down and press. And press for a good like 15 seconds. It'll still seize up, but that just really helps it out. And you'll see, if you can like, if you're able to visually look at it as I'm cooking, you'll see the skin just go whoop. So anytime you're cooking salmon or anything like that, always push down. Even just a steak in general, pushing down is gonna allow you to get better contact. Want to go striper fishing next summer? Oh, Rhode Island, yeah, I'd love to. I'm definitely down. If anybody does like fish, like tuna fishing or anything like that, let me know. I'd love to go at some point. Dry age land, that'd be cool. Cast iron or carbon steel? Honestly, I kind of like carbon steel better. It's easier to maintain, but I just have so many cast irons, I just end up using them the most, I feel like. Give the people what they want. I think that's what, I think that's what you want. Okay, make the, oh, the quality of the camera. How's the quality on Instagram? Am I checking? Okay. Why don't we actually start by just cooking the skin, and let's see what happens when we, it's good? Okay. But like, I have a feeling, I actually don't really know, but let's see. So I'm using avocado oil. It has a high smoke point. It's usually what I like to use when I'm searing stuff. I don't want it above the smoke point really, because that's a sign that it's gonna be extremely hot. But all right, we're gonna start with just the skin, and let's see what happens just by putting it down. So see how it's like moving? Look at that. You guys seeing? Can you see? See how it's like totally deforming? It literally took like half a second, but check it out. Within like literally seconds, it went from that big, nice piece of skin to like, you can see it's concave now. And if this was the piece of fish, right, it'd be really hard to get a nice even sear because it's curled up like that. So what we want to do when it's time to actually sear is put it down, and we can't really do it now because of that, but, and kind of press down. Yeah, all right. Well, that's that. That's the lesson in why we do it. Now we're gonna actually cook this piece of fish. Oh, do we have that butter? The, what's it called, butter?
Yeah, one on the left.
Where is it?
Left.
Okay, so we also have some white truffle butter that we'll probably add depending, but yeah. Got the oil. Okay, let's add the fish. And we're going to use pressure to try and avoid what just happened to that piece right there. Okay, ready? Going in. Can you guys see? A little bit, all right. So we've hit the smoking point, which is a little bit too hot. It's okay. All right, ready? Yeah, okay, now you guys can see a little bit better. Ready? And 3, 2, 1. So you see I'm just pushing down, and I'm forcing that curling action not to happen. Still sort of happening, but I'm doing my best to prevent it. And I usually hold this for probably another 5 seconds. When it sort of sets, or you'll hit a point where it can't, it's crisped up enough where it won't continue curling. So right around there, and yeah, we're good. So, it's on low. So yeah, we're just gonna add a little bit more oil. Some oil involved there. Yeah, I think we're good. So I'll let this cook for probably at least a minute to 2 minutes just to like get our crust. I don't want to flip it too soon, but I also don't want to accidentally burn it. So I like just being aware of how it's looking. Most of the cooking is going to happen on the skin side. It kind of creates a barrier, so it doesn't cook too fast. But yeah, just let it cook. Kind of get that oil going on it. Is it hot enough? Get it hotter. Yeah, I think we're good now. It's good. So can I dry age venison? I will at some point. some point soon. Are you using cast iron on induction? No, so this is cast iron on, I still just use this like really crappy Walmart stovetop thing. I'm trying to get, Breville, if you're out there, I don't know what the deal is, but you still haven't responded to my DM. I need an upgrade. It's definitely time for an upgrade. So yeah, it's just cooking. It's, I don't want to pull, the one thing you definitely don't want to do is like accidentally pull the meat from the skin. So I'm not in a huge rush to flip it or anything, but I'm just, at a certain point it'll kind of release, at which point we can just check out the crust and see what we're thinking. Bring the beard back. Cut the beard and got a haircut today. What am I cooking? We're cooking a dry-aged fish. So we tried some sashimi, it was really great, and ooh, getting a little smoky in here. Don't ruin the shirt, take it off. What do you collab with? Maybe. All right, let's see how it's looking. So at this point, yeah, it's looking pretty good. So you can see how now this the fish can move around freely, which tells me that everything's set nicely. The skin already looks quite nice. We're just gonna let it continue to cook. Here's the biggest beauty of dry-aged fish is the skin. So I hope I get this right so I can really show you how nice it is. But dry-aged fish, I mean, think about it. It's literally sitting in oxygen and just like exposed to air for such a long period of time. So it really dries out and it allows you to get this ridiculous crust on the fish, which to me is probably one of the biggest benefits. Like, yes, you do get, it's a little more tender, the flavor's better, but really in my opinion, the crust is what sets it apart. And I can tell it's already looking really great.
What's your favorite thing to cook?
My favorite thing to cook? I really like cooking steaks, if you guys couldn't tell. Probably my favorite thing. What time would we be able to join the live? See, we'll be done with this in probably 5 minutes, and then we'll eat it for 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes.
Have you ever cooked tripe?
Cooked tripe. I've never cooked tripe, but I actually like tripe. I know a lot of people don't love tripe, but I'm a fan. Especially when it's like the white tripe, when it's in pho, the soup. Do a Discord group call. Hey, farmer, is that my farmer? What's up? Do a backflip. Should I just do a backflip real quick?
Yeah.
All right. Quick backflip break. I wish. My brother can do a backflip. It's his sister. Yeah, my sister's here. Guys, so we're like still 25% done with the cooking process, but look at this freaking skin. Guys. Just take a look at the skin that we already have. Like, you cannot get that skin normally. Like, that is ridiculous. So, I'm telling you, dry-aged fish, it's not really a thing yet, but it should be. So we're gonna let that keep cooking. I'm gonna flip it, then add some white truffle butter, and we're gonna kind of baste it. But the skin is already insane. And I'll probably pull it pretty early at like 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Just because, it's already sashimi grade fish. So, but yeah, I mean that skin is crazy. This one's actually better than the one when I filmed the video. So I'm really excited about that. Slap the skin. Toon Gaming, you got a shout out. Favorite cut of beef? Outside skirt steak, personally, it's my favorite. Okay. Guys, oh my god. Like, this is ridiculous. Can you hear that? That is insane. Okay, let it keep cooking for a little bit. Can't tell if this is hot. When's the next video on YouTube? So I actually have 2 long form videos filmed. One is like 99% done being edited. The other one is still getting there. But this weekend, I'll have a long form out. How many eggs did it take to make chicken parm? Depends how big the chicken is. All right, I'm gonna flip it now, guys. Turn it down. We're adding some white truffle butter. Pretty good amount. You guys see? So it's pretty simple in terms of seasoning. It's literally just the fish with salt and white truffle butter. But, oh man, it smells so good. It kind of looks like ice cream. So I'm basically just treating it like a steak. You know, letting the butter melt. It's nice and foamy, which means it's a good temperature right now. And the basting distributes the flavor of the white truffles and also helps it cook from multiple directions. Sophia coming in clutch right now. You can see it's nice and foamy. That's a good sign that the butter's not too hot. It's not burning, but it's also foaming to a point where it's, you know, it's quite hot. So, it's good. Just want to keep cooking a bit. Good job, Sophia.
Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, the fish is already at 100 degrees Fahrenheit, which would normally be quite rare for a steak, but this is fish. So I'm taking it off. And there it is. Guys, once again. Oh. You see? It's just an amazing crust. Okay. So where should I put this? A piece of, just a plate. Guys, check it out. See, that crust is really nice. Okay, we're gonna let it rest for a second. Take this off, it's a bit hot. How do you know when the fish is done? So I treat it like a steak. You know, some people just eyeball it, but I like to use a thermometer. I pulled it at 100 degrees Fahrenheit, which is really not that high. You know, if you think about room temperature is what, like 75 degrees? So 100, you know, like humans can live in 100-degree weather. So it's not extremely, extremely hot. Something like a steak, if you pulled it at maybe 120 Fahrenheit, that would be medium rare. So this is gonna be more rare than medium rare, but since it's fish and since it's sashimi grade, it's totally good to eat at that temperature. And with fish, you really don't want to overcook it. Kiss, okay. All right. Oh, nice. Thank you, Sophia. We got one of our OG Filleting cutting boards. Okay. Max, make a drink. Oh, we should probably pour a glass of white wine with this, right? Okay. Guys, just once again, that is a nice looking fish. Crust. Okay. Still asked me to kiss the fish even after it's been cooked. Slap the skin. Okay, so guys, we're definitely not doing good in the side dish department, but the fish is looking great. Hold it at 100 degrees, so it's gonna be nice and rare. The skin, I wanna show you guys again. I've showed you like 20 times. but it's just like, it's almost to the point where it's bubbly, right? Very different than your typical fried fish or seared fish. I'm gonna throw some of the truffle butter. Just throw a little more on top. Ooh, it's hot. Just for a little more of that truffle flavor. Okay. What type of wine is that, Sophia? Oh, it's a white? Okay, guys. It is just about time to eat this. Man, our Groves still asked me to slap it. This is, if I slap this fish, it would just fall apart. Can't be doing that. Do I have a restaurant? I don't. That'd be cool though. What steak do I recommend to try? Honestly, whatever's on sale with good marbling. That's the steak you should try when you go to a store. Okay, let's check out the fish. Can you guys hear that? I mean, that is like deafening, the sound. Yeah, very good crust on the skin. Maybe throw a little flaky salt. We only seasoned the top, the bottom, so probably a little bit of salt would be good. A little bit of white truffle salt to go with the white truffle butter combo. And there it is. Slap the wine now. Huh. Man, okay. Wow. This is the craziest fish skin I've ever seen. So, you can see, like, people say, oh, dry age, it must be dry. Oh. Oops. Misfire, okay. People say that dry age stuff must be dry. But look how juicy, I don't know if you guys can tell if it can be picked up, but look how juicy this fish is. I'm not gonna say it's juicy necessarily because of the fact that we dry aged it. It's more so because we pulled it at 100 degrees, right? We made sure not to overcook it. But my point, it's literally like dripping, it might be the butter too, but my point is that just because you dry age something doesn't mean that it's not gonna be juicy by the end of it. A lot of the times it's even more juicy. Okay, let's try the fish. This looks amazing. Okay. Wow. That's the real deal. The skin is easily the best part. It's like, it's the crunchiest fish skin you've ever had. The fish itself, very tender. You get the truffle flavor. It doesn't taste funky or anything like that, like you would expect from a dry aged steak. I mean, literally, it's like cracking. It's almost like there's a chip on top of the fish. It's insane. Very flaky. I don't know if you guys can see, but the fish, oh, it's like, it honestly looks amazing. Can I show you guys better what I'm looking at? Very flaky and just extremely juicy. With that skin, I mean, this is, yeah. As you can see, extremely flaky. It's just amazing, honestly. Trust him. Wow. That was really good. You look juicy. All right, Mr. Vincent, you've been asking to join a lot, so we'll let you join. But guys, this is very different than typical fish. Like when you eat fish at a restaurant, I find a lot of the times it's overcooked. They don't focus on the skin. Like really nice restaurants, they will. It's good, right? It's like this is, I'm trying to think, I can't really find the words for it. It's a lot more complex. Like you have the really tender fish, right, as part of it. Then you have the skin element. Like they're two, they work together extremely well. Yeah, I don't know. It's just really great. How am I supposed to slap it now? That's a good point. I can't slap it now. Okay, let me get that guy on because he's been asking a lot. I think what I'm gonna do is shut off the YouTube one. Guys, if you're on YouTube and you want to come over to Instagram, feel free to join the live over there. I'm gonna have a few people on if they want to talk, see what happens. But yeah, thanks for joining, guys. And Shalva, I'm good. Guys, feel free to come over to Instagram. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Okay, so ending that one.